All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. We are going to be starting off the day today with a look at the IGN coverage of the first 43 minutes of Kingdom Come Deliverance II. This is one of the upcoming games that I will be playing in February along with Avowed. This comes out on February, I always forget, 11th, I think. Anyway, be playing this as one of the main games of February. Looking forward to it. We've been covering all of their videos up to this point that Warhorse has put out, and IGN now has a month of firsts ahead of it as they have a first look series throughout the month of December leading up to the end of the year. So I anticipate we'll be seeing a lot more of these IGN First videos since they were announced yesterday. So I'll cover all of them as they come out, and we will all get prepared for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So we're going to start off watching this morning, and then we'll get back to the Stalker 2 adventure. We still have tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then Friday will be in Indiana Jones: The Great Cirque. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the first 43 minutes of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
My word. You're turning into a real master swordsman.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is this month's IGN First. Throughout December, we'll be diving deep into Warhorse Studios' massive medieval sandbox sequel, with an exclusive preview, interviews,
What's up, Ashley? What's up,
gameplay,
Transcend?
and more. We've captured an exclusive look at the opening segments of Kingdom Come 2, which not only reintroduces us to Henry, our protagonist, but also features plenty of siege combat, sword training, dice games, a lovable dog, tough dialogue choices, and more. Enjoy.
And a lot of timed dialogue choices, which I am not a huge fan of, but I roll with it. The kingdom of Bohemia is ravaged by war at the beginning of the 15th century. King Wenceslas IV is taken captive by rebellious nobles, and his brother, King Sigismund of Hungary, lacking ruler, the land descends into chaos. Only a handful of loyalists stand by their rightful king. Sector 14.
Keep firing! Don't stop! Give it up! We need more arrows! I need help here, damn it! You, grab whatever you can and get up top!
What are you doing here? Go and take cover in the keep.
Can't hold out against this onslaught much longer. Go and take cover with the others.
Look out!
Looking good, man. Looking pretty realistic. Are we gonna pan up and get a Henry shot? No.
Godwin!
God.
Where's your weapon? To the battlements! Move!
Father!
There he
Come to
is.
anoint us before we die?
Well, that's somebody.
We'll get anointed after the battle.
Hans, it's Hans.
With booze.
Trebuchet! Get ready! Prepare to shoot! Position!
This is brutal, man.
Take cover! Now! Forward! A rude awakening, eh?
Make it count.
Yeah, they got the first one perfectly. Knocked out the drawbridge controls. Oh, so they have you controlling somebody else? Probably just as a tutorial.
Get up there quick! We have to repel them!
Start you off with the crossbow, which is a new weapon for Kingdom Come Deliverance II. Still no crosshair. That looked like an awful lot of shaking. I have a feeling the bow is going to be just as hard in this game. That didn't appear too horribly shaky, but this is crossbow, not a regular bow. I really want to see how the regular bow shoots. This looks really smooth. Join the line, lad. Actually, it's not a lad, this is an old man. Yeah, hide behind the guy with the shield. That's a good idea. So we repelled that gate rush. Knock down the ladder. Oh, you have to fight a guy before you can do it. So they're doing mouse and keyboard. That might be why he has such fine control over the crossbow shots. I'll be interested to see what it's like on the console since I'm playing it on the PlayStation. Up comes another one.
Like, don't poke at it. Just calm down.
Oh, Dentes Fortuna, fucking you, that. Jesus. You're only supposed to deliver a message to Trosky. And the most adventure I was expecting was a fuck or two.
Throwing you into the deep end, right out the bat. Credits? Credits! Well, at least the title screen. Several weeks earlier.
Ordentes fortuna juvat!
Off on an adventure.
What's that you keep yelling, Sir Hans?
Good gracious, Henry, you don't mean to tell me you don't know Latin?
My apologies, Your Grace. Unfortunately, I was too busy shoveling shit and picking turnips to find time for studying Latin.
We shall have to rectify that. I can't have an ignoramus for a personal bodyguard.
Buddy
Anyway,
cops.
this Auden, whatever. What does that actually mean?
Audentes fortuna juvat. Fortune favors the brave.
I don't doubt it. All we have to do is deliver a letter to Lord Otto von Bergov and ride back again. Doesn't take much bravery.
Christ, Henry, don't be such a stick in the mud. Aren't you glad to be finally out of that hellhole where we can finally enjoy some adventure? See a bit of the world. Meet new women. And simply have some fun.
Sure, but you promised Johannes that you'd be as good as gold, and I'm personally responsible for your safety. Besides, Trosky's in the middle of nowhere, so I wouldn't expect much excitement there.
God help me, my bodyguard's a monk who can't speak Latin.
Sir! Trosky!
Music. Alright, we're getting some epic sweeping visuals in this. Very cool.
My word. That is fucking impressive. It makes Perkstein look like an outhouse. Bergov must be made of money.
Unfortunately, things weren't as they seemed as our pair of heroes rode into the depths of the forest ahead.
Well, Henry, looking forward to new adventures? Adventures that will become the stuff of legends?
In the first place, Sir Hans, we've got a task ahead of us. An important one, and a great responsibility. You don't meet such a mighty noble as von Bergov every day. So, first duty, then fun.
Quiet, monk! You'll just spoil the rest of our trip. It's all clear to me. We deliver the message, get the politics over with, and enjoy a bit of adventure together. But why didn't Uncle Hanush take care of it himself? Unless, maybe he's just testing me.
Why? He must trust you not to botch it up. Otherwise, he wouldn't send you as his envoy.
Of course! How could I possibly botch it up? There are foreign armies rampaging through Bohemia. The king is in captivity.
I would hope
God
that you're not
knows where.
having to manually
And here
control
we
a
are
horse
in the
during
middle
this
of it
scene.
all, carrying an
I'm
important
assuming
document.
this is a conversation scene.
I intend to make the most of this trip one
Because
way
the
or
horse
another.
controls were terrifying in the first
You're a
game.
bit too keen.
And I don't know if
You never
they've
know what
improved
might
them
happen.
here.
Henry, don't be such a lily liver.
It'd be cool if they did like a Red Dead
Audentes
Redemption 2 style.
fortuna juvat. Well, enough of the chat. Trosky's almost within reach.
Sir Hans! How's it looking there in the back?
All good, Oates. Just keep your eyes on the road ahead.
Exactly. If anything in front of us even looks like it's moving, we want to know.
Keep your hair on, Nick. Old Oak's got eyes like a hawk. I don't miss nothing.
Twang! Air to the throat. You know it.
Sir.
that's not good.
Should we get ready for a fight?
Take it easy, Henry. They're wearing von Bergov's colours. They're from Trosky.
Surround them! Don't let them get away!
Besides, we wouldn't stand a chance against them. Don't do anything foolish, fellas. Just follow my orders.
You're about to get slaughtered.
Halt! What are you after here?
Is this usually how you greet visitors, my good man?
This is how we greet armed strangers when bandits are pillaging everywhere.
Can you not distinguish between a noble and a bandit, sir?
It's not always that straightforward these days. Who are you people?
Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. I bear a letter for Sir Otto von Berghoff from my master, Sir Hanush of Leipa.
This is indeed the seal of the Lords of Leipa. And unless I am mistaken, Lord Hanush of Leipa is on the side of King Wenceslas.
Well,
While my master is a member of the League of Lords, who side with King Sigismund.
well,
So it would appear we are enemies. We're not enemies. We're carrying a message with the aim of putting a stop to the hostilities.
And who are you?
Henry, from Skalitz.
Oh, you get to choose your playstyle here. Oh, wow. I'll probably end up going advisor. Personally.
I'm Lord Capon's advisor and scribe. And now
Yeah,
an
yeah,
envoy
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, the armor
From
designs look great,
Skalitz,
Ashley.
you say? The one that King Sigismund's Cuman forces plundered?
And slaughtered everyone. Even so, I'm not going to Trosky as an enemy, but as a peace envoy.
Even so, you're still strangers here, and armed strangers to boot. And as it happens, we're on the trail of just such a band. So why should I trust you?
Oh, here we go. They've added more options now, too.
We want to negotiate an alliance. We'll come to an agreement with your lord in Trosky, and maybe offer to deal with those bandits for you. After all, you haven't been able to track them down. So we can take matters into our own hands. So move aside, and let us, dutiful knights, pass.
Don't provoke me, boy.
Oh,
Or
reputation
you'll pass
loss.
to a place you don't want to be. Didn't you say you were a scribe? Or are you trying to tell me you're a knight and a scribe? Don't try to pull the wool over my eyes.
Don't listen to him, Captain. He's traveling with me for the first time, and evidently, he's got a bit above himself. We've come on the orders of Margrave Jobst of Moravia, and we bear a message from Sir Hanush of Leipa, Divish of Tarnberg, and Radzig Kobula. Our message concerns the offer of an alliance that it seems you need as much as we do right now.
All right, then. You may carry on, but put your men in their place, sir, before their impertinence leads you into trouble.
Indeed, I will. Thank you, Captain.
Sorry about the cold reception. You must be cautious. These bandits create mayhem, then vanish like ghosts. We'll be on our way.
Oh, so you won't accompany us to the castle to see your lord?
Sorry, sir, we can't. Listen, you won't make it to the castle before nightfall. Sir Otto's orders are to not admit anyone after dark, especially while we're away. You'd best camp until daybreak.
I'll take your point. I mean, back home, the last time someone let a nobleman in trouble into their castle, we had to bombard it to get him out. Is there an inn in these parts, at least?
There is one, but it's a bit of a way out, and I'm not sure your lordship would like it very much.
God! What kind of a backwater have they sent us to?
Oh, no.
I just suppose we'll just have to manage somehow. Good luck in hunting down those bandits.
Thomas, captain at Trosky. Thank you. And sorry again. Farewell.
I don't know that he took that insult to his homeland very nicely. I bet they circle back around, come sneak up on us at night.
Well, this is a bit of a hold-up. What now? Since there's no tavern within reach, we'll just bed down here for the night. The pond looks inviting, and we've got wine enough.
And what about those bandits?
Well, they're probably keeping their heads down, what with that big patrol combing the woods for them.
Hans, you naive little boy.
Come on, fellas. We'll camp here on the bank. At least we can bathe. I stink almost as bad as the rest of you, and you lot are rank.
We are taking a first look at Kingdom Come Deliverance II, Tanner Jack. This is from the IGN First coverage. I've done, I don't know, 20 or 30 videos covering Kingdom Come Deliverance II so far. So we're doing another reaction video this morning.
What's all the fuss about, Mutt?
This one just aired yesterday, and IGN has a month-long series of firsts covering this game. So we'll be taking lots of journeys into Hans and Henry's journey. And we will be playing this game in February. What's up, Just Dan?
Listen, would you have some scraps for Mutt?
That's a good one. He already gobbled up a piece of venison while I was having a piss. I've got one last sausage and I'll be saving that for the way back. Look, Henry, I'm fond of that beast, but you ought to keep him under control.
Come on, Oates. We'll get to Trosky tomorrow, and there'll be plenty of food there. We're a noble's escort, so they're obliged to feed us well. Pheasant in wine, roast pork with apples. Those sausages of yours are only fit for a dog anyway.
For Christ's sake, stop giving me a hard time. I'll have you know that sausage is fucking good. But neither you nor your dog will get to taste it.
Wouldn't you swap it for something?
I might. Tankard has my ring. I lost it to him at dice, and if I go home without it, my old woman will send me right back. If you can get it back, I'll be glad to give you that sausage.
So here's going to be your first quest. They're going to give you options to do it. You'll probably be allowed to steal it or converse for it.
Stay.
Well then, Henry?
Come on, Conrad.
What?
Let's throw a few dice.
I'll have to play him dice for the sausage.
How many times do I have to tell you? I ain't playing with you.
Why not?
Because you cheat.
I do not.
Oh? And how come you always win then, eh?
That's an easy one. I always win, 'cause you always lose.
I see you've got dice set up. Want a game?
Sure. How's about spicing it up with a little wager?
I heard you won a ring off Oates. What about that?
Fortune favours the brave, lad. But if you lose, you'll pay for everything I order in the tavern in Trosky. All right? We'll see whose side luck is on today.
You better hope he's not using loaded dice, brother. Oh wow, so we have, I don't remember dice from the first game. This is new. So you can play dice? Could you play dice in the first one? I never played dice in the first one, so I don't remember this. Could be something I never did in the first one. Don't have any recollection of it.
Mother of... Damn your eyes. You played well. Ah, what's to be done? A bet is a bet. Here's your ring. Come on, Conrad.
What?
Let's throw a few dice.
It seems Tankard can't tell a 5 from a 6. I won that ring off him.
You beat the bastard. Ha! You're a dab hand, Henry. Thanks. Will you give it to me? If I go home without it, the old woman will break her broom over my back.
What will you give me for it?
Well,
Oh.
all I've got here is
Give me the
some
sausage.
grub. Want a sausage? It's venison.
All right. And enough games. You won't easily find another mug who'll exchange a ring for a sausage.
Yeah. True enough.
Hey, Conrad, one little game, eh?
Leave me alone.
Here, mutt.
It's all
Smoked sausage.
One little game. And then you go and take my last groschen.
Free.
This is boring. Why don't we carry on to the footy?
Henry, oh, that was a tight thing with the captain, eh?
I got the feeling you'd lost your tongue.
Just for a moment. But true enough. That bastard surprised me a bit.
Well, that's what I'm here for. To deal with that kind of stuff.
And I must say, that was pretty good for your first action as leader of my bodyguard. Let's see if you keep it up. But we managed the situation all right in the end. He even apologized to us. If Hanosh had seen it, maybe he'd finally stop treating me like a child, eh?
Well, I don't know. When I look at you, well...
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Kiss my arse. And by the way, since you're here, how about stretching our limbs a bit after that long journey? With a bit of swordplay.
You're in the mood for that after riding so long?
Certainly. So then, eh? Eh?
All right then. Just a bit of swordplay for the hell of it? Or should we have a wager?
Let's save the wagers for later.
Okay, so this is just a practice
You're
round.
afraid?
Keep the biting remarks to yourself. You've got armor on, so just grab your helmet. Here's a practice sword for you. Have that ready too.
This evening at least.
Oh, so that's a different weapon set. That was interesting.
So, should we start?
Ready? Let's start.
Better draw your sword, bro.
Hang on. This time, let's get warmed up. I'll attack you a few times. You defend.
Go ahead. Impress me.
Ugh. Ah.
Is that the best you've got?
God, they've done a great job with the music, too.
No, you will soon enough. A foe in plate armor has to be worn down.
Let's see it then.
So they're giving you a tip right there on how to deal with
properly
people in
now.
plate armor. You gotta wear
Along
their
the
stamina
sequence.
down.
Enough!
Now you're warmed up, eh?
Yeah. But you're pretty winded yourself. While you're attacking, you still have to take care you have strength left to defend.
Save the advice.
Proportional
and
to
try
the
it
strength of the
yourself.
blocked attack.
Gladly. On guard. Nice. That's the way.
You do have to block in the right direction,
Good.
though.
Nice. Leave me some room. Good.
That's enough.
It does look like he's
No one's
blocking
ever
in
won a
specific
duel just by
directions,
blocking.
though. So
You've got
that
to
means
make
you're going to
an
have to be
opening to
conscious
strike
about
back.
which direction you block
And
from.
you do that by means of a perfect block.
Perfect block, eh? You've become a real swordsman.
Start your attack then.
And then this is when you can do the perfect block,
You have to move sooner.
which I don't think, I think it means you don't have to
That's not
have
it.
a specific
You
angle
mustn't block
selected.
until after I start my strike.
So in this manner, you can deflect from
Am I
any
blocking
direction,
later?
but you have to get the timing right.
Nice! But what about a riposte? Reckon you can manage that?
Why wouldn't I? Nothing to it. I just follow up a perfect block immediately with a strike. I'll show you.
Get ready! Why didn't you strike afterwards?
That's going to be a
Sweet.
timing thing.
Nice.
So that's going to be interesting to learn how that timing works.
Hey, you're not as good as Captain Bernard, but that wasn't bad.
Be sure to remember, if someone gives you a riposte, you can still fend it off with a perfect block.
So you can
And
do
it's
2
best to
perfect
follow
blocks
up
in a
right
row.
away with your own riposte.
Yeah, right. But what if I want to attack in such a way that you can't make a perfect block?
Then it's best to attack at a spot where your opponent isn't covered, where he's not holding his weapon. You defend, and I'll show you how.
All right, come on then. Nice.
This is the same as the
No,
first
no.
system, the
That way I can
zones.
block you easily. All right. I get it. For Christ's sake. Enough demonstrations and explanations.
Let's have one training duel to finish up, eh?
Indeed. And let's have a wager to spice things up. How about
wager.
100 groschen?
It is going to be a great winter game, indeed.
All right. 100 groschen it is.
Defend yourself. First hit. Now we're even.
Ow! You missed the block. You're going to get your ass kicked.
Put up a fight at least.
Go for it!
Hans is good, man.
I haven't got a hope. I haven't got a hope.
God, Hans is kicking our ass.
That's what I call swordplay.
Put up a fight at least.
Go, fellas, go!
Oh, you haven't got a hope. Put up a fight at least. Put up a fight at least.
This is a long ass fight. I wonder if it goes until you want to stop, or if it, like, this seems overly long for a tutorial. So there is a,
You had it. I say the victor is clear.
there was a
I'll get my wages
conversation
from you
option
later.
there, so I guess you just go
Now
until you
it's time
decide
to
to either
eat.
surrender
Oh,
or
that sword
kick his
play's given
butt.
me
And I don't know
quite
if you
an
can
appetite.
kick his butt. It
Let's
might
get
be an
some grub.
unbeatable fight just to teach you the beginning of swordplay. No, there's no basic options, Scouser. The difference is they've said is that this This game's combat, like, you already know things that you had to learn in the first game. This time around, you already know those going into it. So you do have a lot more
So
options.
who won, gentlemen?
There's more weapons.
That's obvious, isn't
But you
it?
still have to, it's still a
Henry learned a
zone-based.
lesson or two, and I won our bet. At least I'll have someone to buy me drinks in the tavern.
It's still
It
zone-based
was
combat,
almost
so
like that
you have to
time in
decide which way
Rattay.
you're going to attack and defend from, and
Yeah, true.
etc.
Only I won that time. Your bow, which came in very handy afterwards.
You were unbelievably lucky, beating me after just one day of training. True, I wasn't in my best form that day. We had a drink or two beforehand.
Oats? What's this food supposed to be?
What's left of our supplies. Tomorrow we'll be at the castle, and we'll get some decent grub.
If you told us earlier, I could have shot a hare. And you could have cooked it like they did in the tavern the day before yesterday.
That tavern where you drank away all your coin?
Ha! You've got to have some fun.
And then you tried it on with the innkeeper's daughter when you were shit-faced.
She was
Yeah, they've got lots of
pretty.
different weapon types
A
this time
real
around.
peach. Admit it.
Only
And they've
a
talked
fella
about how,
was
like,
there.
pole arms and all these other weapons feel a lot different from the sword and shield. Or just the sword or the mace and shield, etc.
He was well pissed off. If I hadn't convinced him you were the village idiot and that we dragged you home right away,
And if I hadn't left him a fistful of coin to boot,
Throwing groschen around like that? Fellas, if a rainy day comes, you'll be fucked.
I've got nothing to regret. The whole world turns around wenches.
It does.
Ain't that right, Henry? You never gave us the goods on that lass of yours. What was her name now?
Teresa. She lived with that crook Peshek at the mill.
and she saved my life.
A brave girl.
aye, she's a fine lass. And? Is she any good? Like, is she any good? Get me?
She's brave. She saved my life when I went back to Scallis after it was razed to bury my parents, and a bunch of mercenaries attacked me. And that's all I'll say.
You know, this travelling isn't too bad.
Apart from the mosquitoes.
Aye. Apart from them.
Where were you yesterday evening, Henry? You were late for supper. That's not what I call watching over our lord.
Hey, don't make trouble.
I needed a bit of peace and quiet. I had a stroll around.
Oh, I definitely smell an
checking out
ambush,
what
Scouser.
plants grow here.
The guy earlier,
Praying for
the
the
way he
success of our
looked
mission.
at Hans
And
when
we came
Hans
back.
is like, oh, what
At
backwater
last
have they
someone
sent
with
us to?
some sense who's not in a hurry.
There's no
all the
inns nearby.
time.
You have to camp in the
If I
field.
always had to think everything over.
They're totally going to
but
come get us in
I
the middle
wouldn't
of
have
the night.
rolled in the hay with so many girls if I spent my time just thinking about it.
Thanks for the prayer, anyway.
And what about, time, sir? I mean, will we be getting any time off, sir?
It depends. Once von Berghoff hears us out, we should set off back home immediately.
What? Straight back on the road?
Well, we could stay a day or two, perhaps.
Does anyone know anything more about von Berghoff?
Only what Sir
Timed
Hans told us,
conversation
that Von
choices
Berghoff is a
make me
big
nervous,
cheese in
man.
the royal court. That's why we're going to negotiate an alliance with him.
You summed that up nicely. But yes, that's how it is. He's the Royal Chamberlain. You fellas will never meet a more important noble than him.
I heard he insists on having the finest swords, and that he's got a big collection of all kinds of swords and daggers.
Collecting them ain't the same as knowing how to use them.
And is he any good at sword fighting? It ain't nothing easy to learn.
The sword is the weapon of a master. Balanced, fast, and suitable for all situations. Of course, you have to train with it and try to improve your technique, but the result is worth it.
I get it. It was just a training
Reached a new
fight.
level in Swords and
me.
Warfare. So you notice we're at the beginning of the game, and he's already level
Swords,
15 and everything
swords.
because he's getting
No
a ding
doubt
to
you're going to
16.
tell us again
So they
how
bring
the
him
perfidious
up.
Ishvan Toth stole your
So you're not
sword.
starting at level
And
1
I
like in
thought
the
you'd
first
come
game.
round to
You're
thinking
starting
about
at like
other
level
things.
15 in your
That
skills.
sword is the only
And this is
reminder
where
I
you're
had of
choosing
Pa.
all the skills that you're good
We
at
forged it
the beginning
together.
of the game.
Just
It's
before he
nice.
was slain. Well, that's another matter. I suppose you've heard enough of that, eh?
Well, you know.
No, it's all right.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Ishvan's shoes if you ever come face to face with him again.
What? So Radzig ain't dead, though?
Enough, enough. Otherwise, we'll be here for hours again, hearing how Martin the Smith raised him, even though Radzig is his real father. It's complicated, and let's leave it at that. No offense.
Who'll help me tomorrow with getting supplies for the journey back?
We rolled dice for it, and I won. So Conrad goes.
What are you on about?
Enough. Oath, you're no fun at all. There'll be a feast at the castle tomorrow, so forget about supplies.
Anyone for another helping? There's plenty left. Maybe even a bit for morning. Hmm?
No thanks. I must wash myself down a bit.
My words exactly. We can't turn up at Trosky tomorrow in this state.
Hi, Mama. Come over to say hi. Come here. Yes. Good morning.
Let's go and strip, Henry. Fellas, come and help us get out of this armor.
Are you really going to bathe here, Sir Hans? It don't look none too safe a spot to me.
Oh, don't be such an old woman, Oates. Bring some wine to warm our blood.
Kitty cat scritches. What's up, Mama?
Yeah, we're not on a trip to the baths here, Sir Hans.
Henry's right, sir. Duty first, fun later.
God's wounds. I haven't been away from Rattay in ages. So, here, I intend to live a little. Blasted iron shirt. Oh, what a relief. I feel like I've just shed 40 pounds.
Hans likes the good life a little too much, and it takes his edge away.
Ah, Christ. Will I ever live to see his young lordship finally grow up?
I don't think you will, sir.
He's got a good heart, but he doesn't have the sense that he was born with.
Kitty cat like
Well,
her scritches.
responsibility will catch up with him soon enough, though.
Scritchy, scritchy.
There's more chance of me becoming a monk.
Because we're men. We're men in tights.
For a king.
Whew. You were right about our stench.
Let's hope this water isn't too cold. You wouldn't want your pride and joy shrinking.
I'm more worried about it being too deep.
Come on. Oh, that really shrivels the old ball sack.
What's the matter? Females! Let's go to them. Sir Hans.
Oh, shut up and let's go. But quietly. We don't want them to spot us.
Hans.
We'll have plenty of more from Kingdom
Ah,
Come
what a
Deliverance 2 throughout
cliffhanger.
December. But for everything else, stick with IGN.
That's awesome. That's a nice cliffhanging ending there. So that is obviously the IGN first look at the first 45 minutes of gameplay for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is dropping in February. We will be playing this game in the month of February on the PS5 is my current plan. And we're going to be balancing this with Avowed, which drops about a week after this. I may or may not do early access for Avowed. I haven't decided yet. Either way, we're going to be playing both of those games in February. And I will, of course, be continuing to cover all things related to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 leading up to the launch of the game. So it looks like we're going to get a lot of coverage from IGN this month, which is awesome. I like the IGN First series. I don't necessarily like a lot of the other stuff that IGN does. Like the reviews aren't always, I don't always agree with the reviews, but I do like the IGN First series they do. Pretty much every time I've watched a first look series around a game, it's just been really cool information that's just like preview stuff. So it's nice. Yeah, I think it's going to be a big, big, big game, Scouser. I bet it's a minimum 100-hour playthrough. Maybe 80, but I would bet like 80 to 100 hours. I'd be looking at like a 100-hour playthrough-ish for my first time through. I'm expecting it to take me the whole month of February, essentially. I've got 3 weeks blocked out for it. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't necessarily have, at the moment, I don't know of anything that's launching early March. I know we have Tales of the Shire and Atomfall. Both of those are late March. So technically, I can just, however long this takes me, but I'm assuming around 3 weeks. If we do our normal 6 hours a day, we should be able to get a good chunk of playthrough in 3 weeks. But on top of that, we've also got Avowed. So we'll just see. It's going to be a great, great February into March here, which is a good thing. So in the meantime, that is the end of that. Let me check out. Fable's also coming in 2025. Yes. And it looks like we're having an issue signing into the Xbox right now. I don't know if the Xbox network is down. Let me go check a couple of things while we're sitting here. I was going to switch over and start playing Stalker 2, but it looks like... What do we got up over here? That's a different image. We'll get this up. Hang on. It's not signing me into Xbox right now, so we could be having a... I don't think it matters. So there might be something with the... Might be something with the Xbox services right now, but logged me into the game just fine. So let's see here. All right, Pippin, I gotta. Let's take a couple minute break here. I need to take care of a kitty cat, and we will get some coffee, snacks, etc. And we'll be back, and we will be preparing to dive back in to some Stalker 2 for the rest of the morning.